So here I have 4 quarts of boiling water, and to that I'm gonna add a pound of macaroni and a tablespoon of salt. Let's give it a little stir to make sure nothing's sticking together.
All right.
So I'm only gonna cook this 5 minutes. It's not gonna be fully cooked now, but it's gonna finish cooking in the sauce. So I just wanna give it a little jump start so I don't have crunchy pasta in my mac. Here I have 3 4-ounce jars of pimentos that I've drained and patted dry. Now you can see they're already pretty fine, but I care a lot about getting some good pimento action in this mac and cheese. So I wanna mince them so there's a lot spread throughout my mac and cheese.
Now Morgan is using real pimentos here. She's not subbing in jarred roasted red peppers. Those are actually bell peppers. Pimentos are sweeter. They come from a little tiny peppers, kind of heart-shaped. Nice sweet flavor, worth seeking out for this recipe. Otherwise it's just mac and cheese with old peppers.
So here I have a pound of extra sharp cheddar. So I really like grating my own just because it actually makes for a creamier mac and cheese. There are no preservatives in here that keep it grainy.
Right.
And then I'm using extra sharp, which it's more prone to breaking, but I have a few tricks up my sleeve to keep this mac and cheese nice and creamy.
Yeah.
It also packs lots of good cheese flavor. I'm actually gonna save a cup of this cheese to top my macaroni. I have a tendency to forget this sort of stuff, so if I set it aside now, I'll remember.
Very smart.
I think it's been about 5 minutes, so let's give this a good look. I'm not actually gonna even bother testing it just because it's really gonna finish cooking in the sauce. So as long as it's got that jump start, we're good. So, time to drain. So here I'm actually gonna make a bechamel. So this is gonna be one of the things that helps keep that cheese from breaking.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn this up to medium-high and add 3 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour, a tablespoon of dry mustard powder, which helps drive home that nice cheesy flavor.
Yes.
3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. I feel like a lot of good Southern food has a good hit of pepper, and it's no different.
There you go.
1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just gonna cook this until it's bubbling and fragrant. Really only gonna cook it about 30 seconds. So now I'm gonna slowly whisk in 2 cups of whole milk. And it's really important to go slow when you first start to avoid those lumps. Once you have a good amount in here, you don't have to be as precious about it. This is how you avoid the lumpy cheese sauce, the lumpy gravy.
This is the place for patience.
Yes.
Let it settle out, and then, like you said, you can add more. Now, how much milk is that?
So this is 2 cups of milk, and I'm also gonna add 2 cups of heavy cream.
Gotcha.
And I'm using whole milk. I feel like this is not a place to go low fat.
Who would do that?
Who would do that? We're making mac and cheese. We're supposed to be having fun here. I'm actually, like I said, I'm adding 2 cups of heavy cream as well. And this will also help keep that cheese from breaking. So the high fat content here really does protect that cheese.
Oh, yes.
Now I'm gonna bring this to a boil, and then I'm gonna turn it down to medium low and let it simmer for 2 minutes, just until it coats the back of a spoon.
Okay.
Yeah, so I always just like to check it on a dark colored spoon, and then looks pretty good, coats it nicely.
That has tightened up just enough.
Exactly, that flour did its work. So I'm gonna pull it off heat, or just turn off the heat. And I'm gonna add in a few more things. So I've got 2 ounces of cream cheese. I'm also gonna add 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. So a little bit of heat. It's not gonna actually taste spicy, but it's gonna have a little more going on.
Is this kind of a medium hot sauce?
Yeah, medium hot sauce. A nice hit of vinegar, but not one of those super vinegary ones.
Nice.
And then a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce here. Another little hit of flavor. We want some
Umami hit.
umami hit. Exactly. I feel like these are the sort of things that make the difference between a good and a great macaroni cheese.
Agree.
Now it's time to add that cheese. So
Okay.
we'll add the 3 cups of cheese here. Like I said, I'm holding aside 1 cup. And I'm doing this off heat. Again, it's a little extra safety measure for that cheese. If it gets too much heat going to it, it can be prone to break. And it'll still get nice and melty because there's so much heat coming from that milk and cream. Okay, so I'll take this out and we'll add these in.
And you are not skimping.
Not skimping, and I mince them so they go extra far. I really wanted to think about like how to make this eat like pimento mac and cheese.
Yes.
Like I want people to think of pimento cheese when they eat this. Okay, and then my pound of undercooked pasta that will eventually be fully cooked.
There you go. There's all 3 parts. You've got pimento, mac, cheese.
Yes, that's how it comes together, our trifecta of goodness. Okay, I'm gonna give it a nice stir, get everything nice and incorporated. That cheese starts soaking into those noodles.
Yes.
So then I have a 13 by 9 baking dish here. I'm just gonna pour it on in.
Oh, yes.
I know, right? And I'm just gonna give this a nice little smooth over. I'm gonna sprinkle with that 1 cup of extra sharp cheddar.
Making it extra special. There are stovetop mac and cheeses that I love, and you do have to cook the pasta all the way through. But something about it coming out of the oven.
With that cheese crust too. It's so nice. So now that we've sprinkled it with this last little bit of cheese, you could stop, refrigerate, and make ahead instructions are on our website, but I want mac and cheese today. So now I'm gonna bake this in a 375-degree oven. I'm gonna bake it for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
So that way it's gonna be bubbling around the edges, that cheese on top's gonna be melted.
Oh.
Now check that out.
Okay. Very excited.
So you can see how it's nice and golden brown around the edges. The filling is bubbling. I'll let it set another 20 minutes. That'll help the sauce tighten up. That'll help it cool off just a little bit. It'll be prime time eating then. Bridget, it's been 20 minutes.
The volcanic activity has quieted down.
Yes. So I feel like mac and cheese is like brownies. You either like an edge piece or a center piece.
I like edges.
Okay. Edges are great. I think you get that little extra crusty bit. It's nice.
I agree. And then after the edge, I like the center.
Great. So we'll just do both. Get a little bit of both up in here.
Oh my gosh, look at that. I mean, the sauce really did tighten up.
Yeah, I feel like it's that perfect balance of not quite sliceable, but not soupy. It is like exactly what you want for mac and cheese. It's so creamy. It's got that nice tang from the cream cheese.
It really does. The mustard, the Worcestershire, the hot sauce, but you do get that little bit of tang from the cream cheese.
If you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, try our digital all-access membership, where you can stream every season of Cook's Country anytime. Scan the QR code or head over to cookscountry.com to sign up for a free trial.
And let's make something great together.